Inspector Gadget's field trip.
We're going on a visit.
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
Come on, let's go with him.
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
What's that, you ask? What is it?
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
Well, no one wants to miss it.
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
We're going on a visit.
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
Come on, let's go with him.
New places, new faces. Inspector Gadget's field trip.
Inspector Gadget's field trip.
Inspector Gadget here, up to my ears in people, which makes it a little difficult to answer my Gadget cell phone. Over 7 million people. This must be New York. Let's face it, the old inspector's lost again. Wowzers! Now that we're here, let's find out where we are. Go, go, Gadget, glow! New York City on the east coast of the United States is actually made up of 5 boroughs or areas: the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and Manhattan. This sprawling metropolis began as a Dutch colony some 370 years ago. The Dutch built a huge wall around the colony for protection. Today, Wall Street follows the same path as that wall, hence the name. Manhattan isn't the only island with tall things. Let's check out a small island with one tall tenant. I'll give you a hint. Tall, green, and female. No, not the jolly green giant's wife. Go, go, Gadget legs! It's Liberty Island, home of the famous Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was a gift to the United States from France in celebration of America's 100th birthday and of their common goals of liberty and equality. How do you ship something that big? I should have known. The statue arrived in 214 packing crates. Some assembly required. On June 17, 1885, all those unassembled pieces arrived. When finally assembled, she stood a full 305 feet tall. Actually, Lady Liberty lies about her height. Half of it comes from the 150-foot pedestal the New Yorkers built for her. It might be the world's tallest footstool. She's so tall, her index finger is as long as the world's tallest person. The Statue of Liberty is a snappy dresser, but that spiky hat or crown is more than a nifty accessory. Its 7 spikes represent the 7 seas and 7 continents to which the message of freedom reaches out. She also holds a tablet inscribed with the date of America's independence, a permanent reminder of America's freedom. The statue is a welcome mat to people from all over the world seeking a better life. If Miss Liberty is a welcome mat, Ellis Island is a doorway for many immigrants, people who moved to the United States from other countries. Although Ellis Island is now a museum, as recently as 1954, this was the first stop in the New World for millions of people. When the immigrants arrived, they spread out. They had to. Ellis Island was overbooked. They moved first to the island of Manhattan and eventually all over the country. Wowzers! We've barely scratched the surface of New York. And speaking of surfaces, it's time for an Inspector Gadget field trip quiz. They say that Liberty is thick-skinned. Just how thick do you think Lady Liberty's skin is? Lady Liberty's copper covering is only 3/32 of an inch or 2.5 millimeters thick. That's about as thick as a silver dollar, but it's worth a lot more. We've got a lot more to uncover, so let's go Gadget field trip. New York is home to many of the world's tallest buildings. It's all stone, steel, and glass as far as the eye can see. I'm standing in front of the Metropolitan Life Tower. In 1909, this was the world's tallest building at 700 feet. New York still has the world's largest 4-dial clock, even bigger than London's big boy, Big Ben. This clock tower was modeled after the famous bell tower in St. Mark's Square in Venice, Italian pigeons not included. For 4 years, this building had nothing to look up to except the occasional flock of migrating geese. Then in 1913, the Woolworth Building was built, a whopping 792 feet. It held the world record for tall for almost 20 years. Inside this skyscraper is one of the most interesting lobbies. Not only does it have mosaics, marble staircases, and marble walls, it has 2 gargoyles. One looks like the architect who designed the building. The other looks like the man who had it built, Mr. Woolworth. Wowzers. I hope they can take a joke. But there's always a new kid on the block going for the tall title. The Chrysler Building, built at the request of car giant Walter Building, or was that Walter Chrysler? Completed in 1930, this massive skyscraper stands at 923 feet. Mr. Chrysler had some special additions put onto the building just to give him an edge in the tall competition. These included a couple of old hubcaps and a few choice, oversized foot ornaments. But Chrysler missed it by that much. Within a year, the Empire State Building sprang up to the incredible height of 1,250 feet. Go Gadget next! This is one of the most impressive views in all of Manhattan, if you can hold your meal down. In fact, this building was originally designed to have huge airships or dirigibles dock at the top. These mammoth mooring posts had immense steel cables attached to them to hold the airship in place. The Empire State Building held the tall title for a long time. So little buildings and so many times. Or was that so many buildings, so little time? Some of the buildings are home to more than 2.3 million people, 17,000 restaurants, and 59,000 hotel rooms. Hey, Cabby! Go Gadget whistle! Here I am in one of the 11,787 taxis in New York. If you change cabs every single minute for 8 straight days, you'd never have to ride in the same cab twice. The taxi cab drivers, or cabbies, represent over 80 countries and speak 60 languages. Another Inspector Gadget field trip quiz. Which of the following is true about the Empire State Building? A, it was built on the site of an old fishing hole. B, a Navy bomber crashed into the 78th and 79th floors. C, a man ran up all 1,869 steps to the top in under 11 minutes. D, it was where King Kong had his last stand. they're all true. Whatever you answered is right. Now, on to our next stop. Here we are at a place that's in Manhattan, but it isn't part of New York or even the United States. This is the United Nations, and it's considered international territory by everyone except the meter maids. The ambassadors come from 185 different countries, attacking international problems of a critical nature day and night, and loving it. The UN is a meeting place for the countries of the world. Why they can't meet at a nice coffee shop over Danish and espresso, I don't know. Each country has representatives that attend special meetings in the United Nations General Assembly. These are just a few of the interpreters employed by the UN to help keep everybody communicating. At the UN, people from all over the world come together to work out their differences. The first step is understanding each other. With all those languages, you can imagine the difficulties here at the UN. Here, the tour guides talk to the visitors and the interpreters talk to the delegates. Every interpreter at the UN has to speak at least 3 of the 6 official UN languages, but not all at the same time. Many can speak 10 languages. Interpreters listen to delegates over headsets and read their translation back into the headsets of other delegates in the General Assembly. Time to head back into town. Think I'll skip the taxi ride this time. I can get lost just fine on my own. We are standing at one of New York's 14,000 bus stops, giving you 13,999 chances to get off at the wrong stop from any one of its 3,553 buses. If you did, you'd be 1 in a million because New York's buses carry over 1 million people every day. Instead of the bus, we can take a leisurely ride through New York Central Park. Why do you suppose it's called Central Park? Would you believe it's in the middle of Manhattan? That's known as the Great Lawn because it's a great place for picnics, frisbee, or just lounging in the warm summer sun. It's also a dandy grazing place for these slow horses. Wowzers, that's quite a lake. Now let's clippity-clop over to the Claremont Stables, where you can rent a horse for a trot through the park. It's fun. Don't be a naysayer. While you head 'em up and move 'em out, here's something more my style. Go Gadget roller skates. If you found it hard to get lost on the buses of New York, you can increase your odds to 1 in 3.5 million by taking the subway with 3.5 million New Yorkers. According to my keen detective sense, this is the largest subway system in the world with 722 miles of track, enough to reach from New York to Atlanta. Wowzers! Of course, this subway doesn't go to Georgia. It goes around the city to 468 subway stations. In fact, there was my stop right back there. Whoops. Are you ready to take a short subway hop to our next field trip, Fat? This is the Flatiron Building. It gets its name from its shape, an iron. The irony is it's only 6 feet wide at its narrowest point, which is room for a very large closet or a very small office. What are all these people doing? Have they lost their minds? No, but if they're not careful, they may lose their shirts. This is the New York Stock Exchange. It looks very complicated down there, but it's actually very simple, especially if you change words around. Think of it as New Yorkers exchanging stock. That's what they're doing. But what is stock? I thought you'd never ask. A stock is a piece or a share of a company. All sorts of companies have stocks available for people to buy. When people own shares, they own a portion of that company. This is called investing. When you don't want shares anymore, you can sell your stock to someone else. All this buying and selling or exchanging is done here at the New York Stock Exchange. That's all they do. But to make it look exciting, they yell a lot and jump around. A person could lose his assets in there. Money, money everywhere, and not a buck to spend. Let's stop off at the Federal Reserve and see what other money mysteries we can help solve. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. To put it simply, it's a bank's bank. 80 feet below street level is one of the most secure vaults in the world. Whoops. Hope it wasn't supposed to be a secret. Wowzers, look at all this gold. There are over 900,000 gold bars stored here. Each of the gold bars weighs about 27 pounds. Over $126 billion worth of gold. This gold is kept under very tight security in this huge steel vault. No one person has all the information needed to get into the vault. These guards don't even know each other. If they did, they'd have to be fired. All this gold doesn't belong to the United States alone. Many countries of the world keep gold here in their own compartments, which is very convenient. When one country lends another country money, the gold is simply moved from one compartment to another. That's easy for the check writers to say. Moving gold is no easy task. It's left to special federal employees called gold stackers. These people have to be very careful with the gold, and not just because it's expensive or because there are surveillance cameras everywhere. But because gold is such a dense metal, if the gold stackers were to drop a gold bar, it would feel like 50 pounds. Drop a gold bar on your foot and you know it. Just in case, they wear special shoe covers made out of magnesium, the same material that's used to make a jet. These covers are so strong that if a gold bar fell on them, it would bounce right off. Kind of like my last paycheck from the chief. It's getting late. Soon the Broadway theaters will be letting out. Broadway is the street most famous for theaters. My uncle, Amadeus Gadget, brought down the house in his Broadway debut. He was a wrecking ball operator. Recognize this sight? It's the Empire State Building at night. New Yorkers must be afraid of the dark. They always leave on a nightlight. They say New York is the city that never sleeps, though it's been known to catch a catnap on lazy summer afternoons. After gawking at gold bars, highlighting hubcaps on high buildings, trading tidbits with translators at the UN, and checking Lady Liberty in New York Harbor, I'm ready for a catnap myself. Until next time, go, Gadget field trip.